Russell Brand, which is wild.
Okay, we're on CNN now. I don't know how that happened. But we're back with our panel from Vermont, Bernie Sanders, the senator. Host of Showtime's The Circus, John Heilemann, and actor and comedian Russell Brand are back with us. Okay, so here are the questions.
Not that it matters. Like, fucking, he runs again. People are going to be like, he's too old. So is Joe Biden, but that don't matter because he's the most electable. Because why? Because the TV man told me so. But, you know, he runs again. I vote for him again. You know the song and dance. I don't give a fuck. Ultimately, though, no, I don't think he's going to win.
People wrote in, I guess this is for you because it mentions the Brit Awards. What does the panel think of the discussion around the Oscars getting rid of gender-specific categories like Best Actor and Best Actress, and how did it work out at the Brit Awards?
As a person who's never won an award, I feel confident in saying that they are vacuous and pointless, a distraction.
Russell Brand is so interesting because, like, he has such good takes, or used to have such good takes, especially as it pertains to socialism, but he's such a fucking granola nut job that, like, all he does now is, like, China is the fucking worst, yeah? And COVID is a lie told to us by big pharmaceuticals. It's like, just like, how did you, what happened? Like, what the fuck happened to this guy? God, so many motherfuckers just, like, broke their brains with COVID. Yes, but Russell Brand is also basically mates with JBP and Ben Shapiro. Yeah, I know. The common thread is that he's a contrarian, not a thinker. I know, but, like, he didn't have to go that far left. That's not contrarianism to be like, I will never, I use Russell Brand's quotes, one Russell Brand quote all the time. Like, literally nonstop. It's an old one, which I rarely ever credit to him because he's such a fucking kook now. But the whole, like, I used to advocate for socialism when I was poor and they called me jealous. Now I'm rich and I advocate for socialism and they call me a hypocrite. I realized that, you know, people just were mad about me advocating for socialism. Dude, you think it's from him? Yes, that is a Russell Brand quote. That is actually him. I know it says, it seems insane because he's such a fucking kook. I thought that was your quote. No, it's not my quote. It's his quote. I used to fucking quote him, and now I don't because it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing, lad. The actual quote was complain about inequality. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's my quote now. Just tell people I came up with it, because if you tell people that Russell Brand came up with it, you're going to be fucking laughed out of the room. Was he a kook before or after he started talking about trans shit? Because I wouldn't be shocked. Wait, I didn't even know he talked about trans shit. Wait, he's on that grift too now? Oh, no. Is he? I doubt it. What is he? He's like a Hollywood guy. When the fuck? No, I don't think he's like anti-trans or whatever. That would be shocking. Like, dude, for Russell Brand, he didn't have to be a fucking leftist, but he was, you know what I mean? So I always appreciated that about him. No, he doesn't. Yeah, that would be surprising if he was like literally fucking anti-trans. I'm gonna be honest with you. He pretty much just presents facts that go against the mainstream narrative and back it up with evidence. Yeah, dude, I know. Facebook posts. I know. Guys, everybody stop saying he's transphobic. I don't know if he actually is or not. I don't know. I don't watch his shit. I just know that he's like definitely fucking like a COVID truther. I know that. Lil bro fumbled Katy Perry just suffering from divorce brain rot. They had a trans debate. Oh, they debated it. That makes more sense. Hannity has an interview with Rhonda Stinky. Yeah, I'm not going to watch that. I don't care about that.
action at a time where we need to be coming together around real principles and values. Unless someone wants to give me an award, in which case I'd like to make it as specific as possible so I could bloody well get it.
But am I wrong that at the Brit Awards, which is for music?
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, but look, he expertly deflected that, by the way. Notice how he didn't fucking mention the trans shit and just basically moved on from it. He's like, yeah, well, I'd like it to be as specific as possible so I can get it, which I think it was a clever and charismatic way to deflect away without like actually saying anything about it. Like at the top of the hour, the clever and charismatic way to deflect the ad breaks is by subscribing, right? For $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, or by getting gifted a sub, you can expertly deflect away the top of the hour ad break. Now, that might have come as a shock to you, even though it is the top of the hour, because I expertly delivered that to you. T, I don't know if I want to read that. Okay. I don't want that to be clipped out. Sorry. NEGA_74. Thank you for the 3 gifted subs. I don't know how to read that, so I'm not going to do it. Man, you were off your game tonight? Wait, what? 2 Rishi, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. What the fuck are you talking about? I thought I did a good job. Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
I hosted that before, but I'll tell you, Bill, that I was able to let go of the experience and have never thought about it since. I feel that it might be fundamentally meaningless.
Okay.
I can't find meaning in it.
But
I've looked.
What I
There's
read
none.
was it used to be best male, best female, and they just cut out the categories, and it was one, like it was the only people who won. It was 4 men and Harry Styles.
Yeah, I think.
No, no women won.
Like that's like a decent joke, kind of. Like that's a joke. Like obviously he's saying like Harry Styles, like he dresses like a woman. Like I'm not in the business of like joke policing to that degree. That was not a joke, Lamont. Come on. Of course it's a joke. He's a boomer. He's like making a joke saying Harry Styles is like a woman. Delivery is not the best. It's lazy, but whatever.
Just give awards to Harry Styles, and that can be an industry.
Okay.
And we'll watch the world incinerate while Harry Styles.
But the main point is that he's like still trying to fish for like any kind of anti-trans sentiment that he can get out of Russell Brand here.
Answers beautifully.
What is the likelihood that Congress will abolish daylight savings time? I read this also today that...
Is that like they're calling it the permanent daylight savings time?
Daylight,
I don't really even understand what that could mean.
Do you care about this? Are you...
No.
Seriously? Come on.
I have been criticized for having a very narrow focus. I accept that criticism. Daylight savings time is not one of the issues that I've been studying.
Okay, but you know what? I bet you this is the kind of stuff that actually affects a lot of people.
It does.
And it's anachronistic. It's stupid. I don't get.
That's pretty funny. I like that. That's a good take. Whatever. I mean, yeah, daylight savings time sucks, but like that's cool. I like that.
I don't know. I guess we did it 100 years ago because farmers needed. Okay, well, how many people in America are farmers? It's like 1% of the population. I mean, we need the farmers. I love food. I'm not crazy about the way they do their farming, torturing animals. Yeah. And by the way, just to connect it once more to COVID, we are never going to be done with diseases like COVID while we are still torturing animals. It all comes from animals.
Oh, shit. He's on his based vegan arc. What is this, bro? The fuck's he saying? Yo, what? He's on his fucking vegan liberal arc. I mean, he's so annoying. Vegans, don't celebrate this man being your loyal soldier, okay? Listen, let me tell you something. You don't want this motherfucker advocating for your shit.
Now we have to worry about bird flu. bird flu. It's birds and pigs.
We're back in the wet market again, where it's like it's the reality. It's like there's bad shit that goes on in those places.
That's right, and that's why that also could be where it came from. But it always jumps from animals to people, and it wouldn't.
It's so funny. He's like, wow, animal production is so horrific. It's like, we need to stop farming animals. Like, it's really fucked up. But also, if you're a human being and you have student loan debt relief, then fuck yourself. You're a lazy piece of shit who's just going to buy drugs with the extra financial security you have now. Like, thanks, man.
If we didn't pen up the animals and torture them before we eat them.
It seems like...
And
let me be non-funny. You know, your point about sickness and the possibility of future pandemics absolutely speaks to the need for international cooperation. Because the pandemic is not going to be an American issue. It's not going to be a Chinese issue. We're going to have to bring the world together to deal with climate, to deal with pandemics.
Okay. Should law enforcement be policing TikTok in order to crack down on illegal trends like the viral challenge to steal Kias and Hyundais? Oh, yeah. Do you know about this? There's TikTok videos that show how you could, with just I think, a screwdriver and a iPhone charger, you can hotwire a Kia and Hyundai, so like they're being stolen left and right. What do you think about TikTok? That's another thing that's before Congress. Somebody has a bill to ban TikTok, certainly for people under 16. I think that's Josh Hawley.
Shouts out to the Kia boys.
Well, I think the concern is TikTok is a Chinese-owned company, and you're seeing states and the U.S. government not wanting to use it for fear that some secretive information could fall into China.
This is Facebook meme news. I mean, no, there is definitely... Kias and Hyundais are pretty easy to steal and hotwire, from what I understand. Like, literally. They do actually steal them a lot. Because kids don't have shit to do. Like, we've watched it. We know why they do it. I talked about it. It's because they have no fucking, like, they have no opportunities at school. They don't even have, like, fucking enough books at school. Everything is underfunded. So they got nothing going on. They're bored. They just, fucking steal Kias and Hyundais and joyride them. This doesn't make it okay. My goal is to, of course, stop that from happening. And if you want to stop that from happening, all you have to do is offer these kids who are otherwise, like, fairly industrious. You know what I mean? It takes a lot to learn about and be able to do that kind of thing. Just arm the Kias, give them guns. No, just after school programs, public parks, basketball leagues, sports leagues in general. These are things that demonstrably decrease juvenile criminal behavior. Okay, I ran the ad already. Yeah, get the kids to work in the fucking auto shops, like, straight up. Like, as not like literally work for money. I mean, like learning programs, like trade programs early on. I don't mean child labor, chat. Calm down. I saw a tweet from a man living in the projects that said the glorification of the hood life is silly and that it's mostly boring because of the poverty. Yeah, that's what it is. That's literally what it is. Of course, it's boring as fuck. You got nothing. You have no money. Chatters know this. You watch me for fucking 8 hours a day. Why? Because you got nothing else going on. So you got to, like, make fun for yourself somehow. Not everybody has money to just, like, go and John Moran is a millionaire and still acts up. Oh, my fucking Lord. This discourse is so fucking annoying. There are cultural aspects of white people, just like black people, okay, sometimes behaving in this manner that does not have anything to do with being from the hood or anything like that. Okay? Motherfucker said John Morant, dude. That's so
Cutting the minds of our young
Well,
people.
it's a whole other story, but that's beyond TikTok, isn't it?
It is, but TikTok is not helping.
I would say the rotting of the minds of America's youth is a problem that existed long before TikTok. And
it made it.
It's like one of the great things about being young.
Made it much worse. Kids at least used to read a book. I don't think kids ever see a book. They do not read. They scroll. Scrolling does not make you smart.
Not to become overly serious, I think it is now perceived that the pandemic has made the mental health crisis that we previously had even worse. And there is a lot of discussion about the impact of social media and the isolation and the lack of human contact that it develops on our health.
All right. Russell, what are your thoughts on the UFOs that were intercepted and shot down by the U.S. military last month? I don't know if they're referring to the Chinese balloons. They were not UFOs because we know what they were. They were Chinese balloons. But there were other things. There were some things that they shot that we didn't get, and we don't know what they are. And there are things that we haven't found out what they are after we did shoot them down.
I wonder whether or not the $14 trillion that have been granted to the Pentagon, 55% of which has ended up in the hands of the military-industrial complex, which surely American people are becoming weary of, needs occasionally to be boosted with fanciful ideas of extraterrestrial invasion. Maybe there needs to be a continual reminder that the skies themselves could become a threat unless Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, BAE Systems continue to profit. Elsewise, a balloon, a perfect metaphor, for it is naught but hot air, nothing inside it, shot down by a $400,000 missile, might be coming for your family.
Well, but again,
I'm surprised he wouldn't hit the anti-China sentiment, but that's probably because he hates China, right? Because they do like the COVID lockdown measures are too crazy, right? It's not a rare Russell W. Bro, you have to understand. You have to understand how fucking Russell Brand operates and what his like background was originally. That's not a rare take for him at all. If anything, his new takes are the rare ones in comparison to where he used to be and what he used to say. His new dumbass takes are the fucking rare ones.
We were just saying here, we all should be skeptical and have open minds on everything. It is possible that there's life on other planets that are visiting us or scouting us. I mean, there are even the U.S. Even the U.S.
Upset him.
I'm just saying it's possible. Carl Sagan said
it is possible. Okay. But if you think that something from another universe came all the way here and was just kind of dragging around and was shot down very easily, I think if it's a UFO, they would have done a little bit better in avoiding and evading that kind of missile.
First of all, we're not saying it's from another universe. We're saying it's from the same universe. The universe is very big. Very big.
Bill, I think Bernie...
When Russell Brand is sounding more sensible than you got issues? Wait, what do you mean? Russell Brand's everything he just said was literally verbatim everything I've said about the... What? I assume you mean Bill Maher, I guess.
It's a good point. It's not like E.T. would come all the way here.
But that's not rare. That's not rare for Russell. That's not rare for Russell Brand. He's always been like anti-military industrial complex. Even his like anti-vax opinion comes from like anti-farmer resentment, anti-big pharma resentment, but like it's not valid. His anti-big pharma resentment is understandable, but his anti-vax sentiment is not valid.
Up outside Elliot's house. He's made it all the way here.
I never said all of his takes are awful anyway. Not all. Yeah, he has good takes as well.
Okay, the Chinese balloon is different. I'm not saying the Chinese balloon was from another universe or this universe.
I mean, it doesn't have to be from China. If it's a Chinese balloon, and I mean that with all due respect.
Unless
that's the least it can do.
Well,
I was going to say, I think
I'm moving on.
The obvious.
You brought Bernie back out here. He won't be happy if you're going to talk about extraterrestrials and balloons and that.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're looking
I mean, he's right. That's a good take, too. He's like, get back on fucking convo, mate. Get back on the fucking convo, mate. You're on the telly. You got Bernard Sanders in the flesh, and you're talking about fucking Chinese balloons.
Inequality.
If you're looking for proof that there's life in outer space, intelligent life in outer space, you need to look no further than Russell. So there's not really another accounting for how a
I'm glad that became a compliment, sir, because I was rearing up.
No, don't you worry. Only compliments, my friend.
With all the emphasis on DEI, are we confusing equality of opportunity with trying to guarantee equity and outcome?
So here is the fucking annoying part that Twitter leftists were angry at Bernie Sanders for, because he doesn't have an immediate piffy response to this. It's like, yeah, because it's a dumb argument presented by right-wingers, okay? Not everyone is going to be as, like, apt and aware of, like, what the stupid-ass question is.
Okay, that's interesting, because I think this word equity has come into the language in the last few years, and before that we didn't hear it a lot, and I think a lot of people hear equity and they hear equality, that like it's the same word, and it's not the same word in the same
No, it's not
concept.
the same
So
word.
how would you differentiate between equity and equality?
Well, equality, we talk about, I don't know what the answer to that is. Come to think of it, equality is equality of opportunity. All right? We live in a society, we want all people to have whatever color your skin is.
Equity, I think, is more guarantee of outcome, is it not?
I think so. I think that's
okay. So which side do you come down on?
Equality.
Equality.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Boys?
The point is, no, here's how it works, okay? Equity, equality, it doesn't fucking matter. We do not have equality. We do not have equality of opportunity, okay? If you think equity is equality of outcome, it doesn't matter, okay? Because we do not have equality of opportunity in this fucking country, okay?
Guarantee of outcome, is it not?
I think so. I think that's
okay. So which side do you come down on?
Equality.
Equality.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Boys?
The point is, no, here's how it works, okay? Equity, equality, it doesn't fucking matter. We do not have equality. We do not have equality of opportunity, okay? If you think equity is equality of outcome, it doesn't matter, okay? Because we do not have equality of opportunity in this fucking country, okay? We don't have anything. And we're having a dumb semantics argument. We do not have either. People say equity is about equality of outcome. That's like a fucking right-wing framing on the concept of equity. I don't care. Okay? Because everyone ultimately is just simply talking about everybody being able to have, everyone being able to prosper, okay? It's just stupid. It's a stupid semantics conversation when, in fact, nobody has the opportunity to prosper in this fucking country other than, like, the extremely wealthy.
Any comment on that one?
I just don't know if that's the definitional difference, but certainly this debate over the question of equality of outcome over equality of opportunity is one that has been, it's the question that underlies affirmative action and everything else that we've had in our politics for a very long time. And there's obviously people very strong, even people who actually want equality of outcome say they only want equality of opportunity and vice versa. But that's that issue, that core of that. What do you actually want? And I think Bernie is where everyone says they want to be, but there are in fact programs that have been designed to actually engineer equal outcomes, not just equal opportunity, and that's where a lot of the controversy has arisen.
Okay.
One more. Like what? What is the what? No. What outcomes? Who has engineered equal outcomes? God damn, bro. Is there not a single normal person here? Like, what the fuck are you? What? No, none of that outrage is real. As a matter of fact, this conversation is literally using this conversation in and of itself plays the exact same role as the equity versus equality debate. It is a simple deflection away from the material realities that there is no material equality in this country, that there is no equal opportunity in this fucking country. Okay? That's it. That's it. That's the main point of contention here. Okay? Are you saying affirmative action programs aren't real? Affirmative action programs are bullshit, and not for the reason why you think they're bullshit, okay? That's so fucking stupid. You think affirmative action is proper restitution for slavery and segregation, you got to be out of your fucking mind to think that. Okay? Meanwhile, once again, yet another example of like the real affirmative action that is like annoying and damaging is not when like some random black kid gets into fucking Harvard, okay? That's when people who buy library wings to Harvard, whose parents got into Harvard, get into Harvard as well. Legacy admissions are significantly a larger problem with respect to like performance-based metrics than anything else. And for some reason, nobody talks about that, and everybody talks about affirmative action. Because once again, white supremacy is a really effective cudgel to divide the working class and shift your attention away from the main issue, which is wealthy people get away with putting their wealthy children into Harvard even if they don't deserve to fucking go there. Harvard body does not even resemble the diverse body of the American population, and it certainly does not resemble the diverse body of the American population based on class position, or rather, not class position, but instead, what their parents do, okay? What, do you think like 90% of America is extremely wealthy? No, but 90% of Harvard is. What is it? 65% of Harvard is legacy admissions? You think they all deserve to be there just because their parents are there? Shut the fuck up. That's the real non-equality and non-equity fucking position. And you never talk about that. Wait, is it? Actually, it might not be as hard. It's not 65. I think 65 is non-legacy maybe. Let's see. Harvard legacy admissions rate. 36% of Harvard is a legacy student. And it's gone up. 36% of the Harvard class of 2022 may claim a relative who's a student there in the past. Okay, but if you get black students into Harvard through affirmative action, then they will get their children in through legacy admissions. Okay. Eliminate legacy admissions if you really want to make sure black kids can't get into Harvard then. How about that? It's just very, very, very silly. You're hyper-focusing. You're again tackling the issue because it ends up almost sounding like, and I'm not saying you're doing that, but it almost does end up sounding like you just don't want black people to go to Harvard, kind of. Like, maybe you didn't intend to sound like that, but it sure is sounding like that. You're like, well, what about black children who then also, take advantage of the Harvard, Harvard legacy admissions process? Like, that's kind of a wild thing to take. That's a wild takeaway. Why did you bring that up? That was weird. 43% of white students are legacy athletes related to donors or staff. Holy fuck. 43% of the white students. Sheesh. 43% of the white students are legacy athletes related to donors or staff. God damn. And by the way, Harvard athlete means no athlete scholarships. So that means that they're rich too. So like they were able to get in on, they were able to get in on that. That's Harvard doesn't have a good team for many reasons. But one of the main reasons is because you don't actually get a scholarship for athletics. So nobody who's actually good is going to go to the fucking school. You have to pay for it. Bro, would you not agree that a lot of people in legacy programs have merit and deserve to be there? Shouldn't they be rewarded for their hard work? Brother, that's crazy because you made the assumption that, one, black students do not have merit. You just made the assumption that black students do not have merit when they get into Harvard and can only get into Harvard through affirmative action. Then turned around and said, but what about black students who get into Harvard through affirmative action? Their children get in through legacy admissions. And then said, well, the legacy admissions programs, the kids in there have merit. You're just, again, telling on yourself over and over again. Do you understand what you're doing? The assumption is that black students do not have merit to go there. Well, that's because the hood is prevalent within black pop culture and it romanticizes violence. Brother, black culture is American culture. Without black culture, there is no American culture, okay? The fuck do you mean? Whenever someone makes that distinction, I always laugh because it's like, what, you think white people are not the main consumers of black culture? What are you, fucking crazy? That's everything. Ironic because, black people don't even have ownership over the culture that they create. That's another part of the problem. Re-examine your behavior and your attitude and your opinions because it does seem a lot like you have some biases. I'm being as charitable as possible. By the way, this further proves that everyone who's against LeBron is racist. Just going to point that out. Just going to have to point that out. My former opinion on people who shit on LeBron James are racists. I look no further than this guy. The way he's behaving in the chat and the things he's saying. This y'all's ally, dude. LeBron haters. This is who you have aligned yourself with. Just going to point that out. Okay, bro, enough with the anecdotes. I'm just saying.
Have Democrats done enough to support strong labor unions, Bernie? What's the future of unions in this country? I think they just subpoenaed the Starbucks dude.
They didn't. I did. That's not fair. No, look, we're not going to have. That is an issue I do know something about, and that I pay attention to. And the bottom line is that you're not going to have a middle class in this country unless workers are able to stand up, organize, form unions, and negotiate for decent contracts. And what we're seeing right now is more and more workers wanting to form unions, but you're seeing companies like Starbucks and Amazon and Apple and other large corporations really engaging in illegal union busting. So we have asked the leader of Starbucks, the head of CEO, Howard Schultz, to explain to us why he thinks it's acceptable that over 50 occasions the NLRB has said they have broken federal labor law in breaking unions. So we hope to have him come before our committee. There will be a vote on Wednesday, a vote on subpoenaing him.
And it does seem like there is a strange sort of hypocrisy there, because these are usually liberal companies. I think Whole Foods also. And it's like they care a lot about the indigenous people of the Bolivian Andes, but not about some worker in Cincinnati.
You got it. All right. They're very liberal about everything except whether workers can form a union and earn decent wages. They're very liberal except whether or not we ask them to pay their fair share of taxes. They're not so liberal then. That's
All
right.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, CNN.
Kind of an unproductive conversation for Bernard. I'm gonna be honest.
Every year, Forbes magazine releases